What's up, y'all? What's up? They rocking, ain't they? Over there rocking, yo. uh, yeah, excuse the dryness right now. I'm about to be like super extra real with y'all because I'm about to be smashed on these fries while I'm talking to y'all. Because I wanted to record it earlier, but trying to record and drive, not really the safest idea. And trying to pull over constantly, gets to be a lot. But commitment. Do what you gotta do. Whatever it takes. Feel the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes. Where you going? Oh, I'm being nosy. Extra nosy. They rocking though, ain't that? I don't even know what song that is, but the beat's catchy. The beat's catchy. I know that. Hey, no, that's hey. There we go. There we go. That's more my age right there. Yeah. It was all a dream. Yeah. That was like, if that wasn't perfect, okay. Because that kind of was on the basis of, it was all a dream. So, after the last video, when it finally uploaded after like a bajillion hours, that was seriously like once traffic calmed down, I had a lot better signal. So, at least I know what happens, goes on in traffic jams. People are just like chilling on YouTube and Netflix, more likely. All right, but let me scoot up so y'all can see me. Like, I'm like extra comfortable. I really like how that light kind of like makes, because it's yellowish and then my teeth. Okay, but anyway. Light reflecting and stuff. But, I had like a self-evaluation pilgrimage, if you will. It was awesome. It was awesome. I know I'm gonna stop being distracted and keep looking around. Like, it's just a lot to look at around here. In a good way though. In a good way though. Like, feeling going on. I'll get there. But going on like this self pilgrimage, so to speak, and being able to really have true alone time to yourself, not focused on anything and nothing else. I mean, not saying that because, like most of y'all know, I've been between a hard rock and a hard place for, wow, almost a year now. Like, well, not without having a job, but yeah. Not almost, but yeah, it has been a year since shit really hit the fan. But I can honestly say, I ain't mad. I ain't mad at all. All in God's plan. And now that, once you do get to like, the understanding of, okay, there are really no bad experiences, and truly embracing that. Now that is something that, definitely takes some time to be able to get in that mode. And that was something, yeah, I recently, spoke out about, but it was something that was brought to my attention a while ago. And it was like, huh. So it was cool when it kept popping back up during like various means, whether in songs or movies or whatever, other readers on YouTube, and having that happen, it was like, oh, wow. Okay. Like it really drills it home and drills it in to the point where it becomes a form of conditioning, but in a positive light, in light and love for the higher good of all, because that's what all this is about. Because breaking karmic cycles, breaking generational curses, accepting your past mistakes and not seeing them as mistakes and seeing them as experiences and lessons learned primarily is a form of conditioning. It's just what makes it so hard, what makes it so painful is being raised in societal standards that we've been raised in with, how society has been flourishing and moving for centuries. And then to literally have to undo everything, like unhinge everything, takes a lot, which is why, some people, end up on, the journey for, I'm talking about, from the self-healing aspect of it for years at a time. And, missing out on, certain events and, not catching things because I can honestly say if it wasn't for me being able to have that alone time as a child and truly being by myself and being able to truly be alone with my thoughts at a very early age, with being able to be alone with my imagination. And although, a lot of people are like, oh man, you grew up strict, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. At the same time, I feel blessed for it to a certain extent because mentally it made me, a strong-minded person, which is why, at least for me personally, it took a minute to break certain mental chains and bondages and, restraints and restrictions and get past that, because it took a lot to even get to that point. Because being able to have that type of set structured environment and having that instilled, certain, people I wasn't allowed to be around. I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. And the era that I did grow up in was like perfect. Like I could truly say that I damn near had a perfect childhood, besides, minus the, cousin touchy stuff that went on with, with various family members and him kind of manipulating a few of us, which wasn't cool. But besides that, that just gave me, I don't see that as, oh, well, that's not a bad experience. I mean, you can't really turn that into anything really positive. So how you could transmute that into something being positive, not a positive like experience as in like the experience itself, no, but is the fact that it gave me another gift, to be able to reach out to people who've had situations like that. Okay, but anywho, being able to, and just it took a lot, but being able to literally play outside, have an imagination, have like that balance between technology and things that weren't technological was amazing. Because like my best friend had video games, one of my cousins ended up having, when they got like Sega came out, they gave me their Super Nintendo. Of course I want Sega, but I was like, yeah, no, I'm not paying for that. But I tried. E for effort. But it was really like, a balance. Like, I wasn't allowed to play the game all like that, but also at the same time, with it being outside, with not with it being outside, but being outside and us, being able to have like an actual winter break, an actual summer break, and feel like it was like a break. Because, I mean, by the time summer was over, by the time summer was getting over, you kind of like started like, dang, like, when is school about to start back in? Like, I miss my people. And being in the neighborhood that I grew up in and being able to grow up with people from literally kindergarten, first grade, and second grade, and progressing with them, with many of them clear up until I moved in junior high, was a beautiful experience. And being and having that balance between technology but still wanting to be outside and be physical, because I was a very physically active person, and just sit in the house, and yeah, the video game gave me mental stimulation, but being able to use my imagination and branch out, it allowed a form of myself, which was just me, that I did keep to myself, to flourish and bloom. So, which is probably why, which explains, thank you, Spirit, for that enlightenment right now. Explains why, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you brought that into fruition. Explains why I do enjoy, having, alone time and being, alone and secluded every now and then. And it's not like, oh, I gotta take like 3, 4, 5 days and go on personal vacation. Like, no, like, but like, there's nothing wrong with like once a week and taking like 2 hours a week and just chilling by yourself, doing like your own thing, regardless of what it is. Whether it's drawing, writing, singing, dancing, fixing computers. Yeah, people do that as a hobby. Believe it or not. Well, I used to, so I can't make that face, but not anymore. Whatever it is, gardening, I said that, spending time with animals, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because it does allow you to discover more about yourself, because we're always growing, we're always evolving, we're always learning, we're always maturing, we're always going for that next level, we're always going for that next thing. And being able to truly be by myself for days at a time, not have to worry about anything or anyone else necessarily in like a forced manipulative mannerism, is the best feeling I've ever felt before. Like, truly just being free, not feeling, doing things literally purely off of my own free will, not feeling like I owe anybody, not feeling like I have to live up to something or meet somebody's standards or expectations or do something out of a sense of obligation, because I mean, you could look at obligations in two different ways. If an obligation that you freely signed up for, then okay, yeah, that's different, but like, like the other obligation where it's like, oh my god, like going to that job that you really don't like for real, was amazing. Is amazing. Because I'm still in that right now. Okay, yeah, I keep forgetting where I'm at, and that, it's just legal, and, just walked out the gas station and just lit one up. I was like, oh, right, 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 right. I gotta remember that. This is like, okay, actually, I haven't been around that in months. so it kind of make my head hurt a little bit. But yeah, sorry for the face, y'all, but I wasn't ready for that. Pineapples, wasn't ready. But I truly feel like that's something everybody should at least try and do. At least every few years in their lives, like at least every 5 years. You know, take two days and not just like seclude yourself to a room or anything, like, because it's not like I was at hermit mode, but not complete seclusion. Like, it got to a point where it was like a little, lonely. But that's when I stepped out of my comfort zone and would like just talk to random people. Like, I would just, hey, how you doing? And hey, I'm doing pretty good. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, man, this weather. And then like, literally having a whole 15-20 minute conversation with random people that I've never met in my day of my life, maybe never gonna see again, and being met with so much positivity. And I mean, I've never really had like a problem with that. Like, I know the people that are like, oh my god, well, I don't go here because these people act like this, or this and this, these people act like this. But I have experience. I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, oh well, I never. But it's never really been like an issue for me with that. I've had, honestly, a really blessed life clear up until Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, because I needed spirituality in my 3D life. Oh no, what was the other one? It was clubs, so it was wands. Eight of Wands. Okay, passionate. Yeah, it's a passionate movie, even though it sounds dull and dry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to sleep. But I need to get this out. Oh, it's midnight. I just looked down in this, seen the 3, so that makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of like a jet lag type feeling right now. But being able to do that and truly able to, and even having the times that I did have off from work and from people, and being able to really focus on my healing and come out of, all the negativity that I was coming out of, not having to worry about other people's energies that I didn't have to associate with, from like going to a job or having to do this or that and this or that, besides, the stuff that I had to do for my son. And being blessed with an occupation where 2 occupations, 3, maybe 4 eventually. But, and the crazy thing about them all, it's not like a set schedule. I literally am my own boss and make my own rules. So it's complete freelance, which is beautiful. So it gives you that versatility. But yeah, because I get bored easily doing the same thing over and over. It's like, all right, I'm about to go do this one for a while, but always having like one thing. And I mean, helping people and being able to connect with others, that's always been a passion. But being able to have this time and really and not just work on myself and do some deep introspection and contemplating on me, but also being able to take appreciation in myself, and then appreciation in others, and then appreciation of the utmost of smallest of things. Like, I've always been that kid that, I know it might sound weird, but yeah, like, I remember being 5, being outside playing one time, and I just stopped, and it was a nice perfect summer day, and I was having a blast. So I was catching grasshoppers, and I just stopped and I just looked, and I was like, I remember looking at the grass. Like, right now I could literally feel the sun and see the sun and see the grass and the smell and hear the grass the grasshoppers and the crickets around, and my friends laughing and running, and me just taking a moment, literally like 2 moments, looking around, taking everything in, and just, because I remember thinking about it then, like, one day I'm going to be big, and I won't be this age. I won't be in this moment right here, right now. Like, even if I go off and play with my friends, I won't be right here, right now. One day I'm not going to be here, be in the same spot. Like, and yes, I'm talking to you as if the 5-year-old, because that's how I was, taking everything in. Yeah, at 5. And just stood there, really took everything in. And I caught myself and I was like, I'm going to start doing that, more often. And it's nothing that I try to purposely remember, but it's something that innately just happened out of pure instinct. Like, I'll be doing something, I was like, huh. I'll just be like, okay, just about to take this in right now. Yo, I'm like kind of like, I just realized, like, just sitting here kind of taking stuff in and talking to you guys, there are no mosquitoes. I'm sorry, that's something big for me. That's something that's like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. At least not right now. That's still that's a blessing right there. See? Hey, the one I was passionate about that, boy. Yeah, that's definitely a plus. But what's the donut? Okay. Being able to really take that in and really just moments in life, and I don't know, just take something in and having that moment to really truly be appreciative of that present moment. I always, because I promised myself as a child that I was always going to remember what it's like to be a kid, have like a child like heart or view of things, some way, some shape, some form. I would never forget what it's like to be a child. That's what I promised myself. I was working my way into, talking my way into what exactly as I said, and then I say, I will never. I just lost it, but y'all remember what I said. Look, bear with me. Tired. I'm gonna go to sleep. But I'm pushing, putting more like it. But spirit just, and so hey, I listen. No, and being able to just push through it. Even when I'm tired. But anywho, and really just embracing everything and being kid, it allowed me to be able to heal a little bit faster, a little bit quicker, than, but I also do and always have since a younger age, being able to be alone and being the only child for a long time, and kind of always having that being left out in the cold. I had to make myself feel better, some way, some shape, some form. I was alone a lot, and if I didn't, I would have been depressed as a child, and I didn't want that. So, like, even going outside and playing outside by myself, like, even knowing my friends will be outside, like, well, I still want to be outside. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but I'm just going to ride this bike by myself. And even just doing things that I needed to be able to fill my own cup. And yeah, growing up to being an adult, and after years of, being alone, you kind of like, okay, well, is there something wrong with me? Like, like, what's going on? It's not just as a kid, you kind of figure, like, I kind of figure, okay, I'll grow out of it, or, whatever, I'll grow into it, or whatever's supposed to happen. And when it just didn't happen, desperation kicks in. Self-love. It's like the Ace of Cups. Desperation kicks in. And then desperation kicks in and it kicks your ass. Because then anything and everything that just comes along is like, oh, well, and it leads to like a reckless way of being. But even still, like I was aware but not present. I was like, yeah, I probably should stop that, but I don't want to go through what it went through. And it's crazy trying to avoid something that you already been through. You end up either putting yourself in a position that's not better or in the same position all over again. You could just went the other way and been by yourself, went back to before any of that, and would have been all right. But that's not how the world is taught. That's not how society is presented. That's not how it's conditioned in our way of being, in our way of life. Like we're at a young age, we're taught survival of the fittest and things like that. And then now it kind of changed, and it's going from people being put up against each other. So now society's going into, oh, well, everybody should just be the same then, since now, because we had so much conflict of people being put up against each other through competition. That's why now you have kids going out for sports and they're not allowed to tell a child, like, no, you didn't make the cut. I see how that's positive because it's not hurting any feelings, but also at the same time, I mean, our feelings are going to get hurt in real life. Like, we have to learn that at a younger age and learn how to be able to manage and control that at a younger age. Like, from personal experience, I used to be a sore loser myself. I did not like to lose. I'm very competitive. And I learned how not to be competitive with others at a very early age because I was playing one of my favorite games and I got pissed because I lost and threw a temper tantrum. And then my mom was like, okay, well, now you can't. And my granny was like, you can't touch any of your toys, and your cousins get to play with your stuff, and you just gotta sit there and look. That hurt my feelings because I didn't like not being included. That hurt more than me losing. And then it was my stuff, so yeah, it hurt more than me being losing. Excuse me. And so I was like, oh, yeah, no. So instead of like, I transmitted that, like when I did want to at a younger age, I remember like the whole process wanting to get mad at somebody else because, I was like, okay, well, what can I do next time that they can't win? What can I do? I could do this. I could do this. Okay, well, let me learn. Let me see what it is that they're doing that I'm not, putting together so I can be able to counter, and see it coming and be like, aha, touche, But really, and it starts as a child. It starts, because when we raising children and, what children see, I mean, unfortunately, it's monkey see, monkey do. Like, yeah, we're taught and we're raised, do as I say, not as I do. But let's face it, images have a longer lasting effect and imprint than words. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't have advertising everywhere the way that we do. We have advertising with certain brands use certain colors and certain ways, because I did graphic design. There's certain ways you could design things to make it stand out, to make it pop more, to make it have a more lasting effect, more memorable, more more poignant, and just stand out like, oh, okay. And then we could start to develop associations. So like now, the Six of Swords, cutting stuff out in a balanced way. But so now we have associations. So now when we see red means stop. When we see green means go. Yellow, slow down. We see, you know, a yellowish orange, a bus, because we really don't know what color that is. You know, and blue handicap, you know, stickers and things of that nature. You see a little triangle with a circle on top with two lines from the bottom. That's the ladies' restroom, you know, and you know it's images wouldn't be what they are if visuality wasn't as lasting, because it is a form of conditioning, because it's something that your brain is imprinting on itself subconsciously, so it's automatically going into your subconscious without even doing anything. It's just sitting there. You just happen to notice it, and you keep constantly coming across that. It becomes imprinted. I mean, how many people actually ask their parents what a handicap, because I'm looking at one right now, what a handicap sign was for? How many people actually, like the little signs that says, you know, private property, and you know, as you grew up, you know that, yeah, if you see that, you don't leave your car parked there for 2-3 days, because it ain't gonna be there. It's gonna get towed. Like, you know, nobody actually asked anything like that. It was embedded into our subconscious, and we picked it up. So having to come from being conditioned and then having to uncondition is basically having to reprogram your brain, have to break yourself, and break yourself when you're already broken. And most, you know, it's hard to do that, and a lot of people don't want to do that then, when that is actually the easiest time, because when you're healed, everything's good and peachy. You have no motive, no motivation, no carrot, if you will, to get you to do a radical change, a radical transformation, or wherever the case may be. You know, unless you do have, you know, just that alone time. And I mean, I don't know. I can only speak from my experience. I haven't discussed this with anyone else before. So yeah, leave a comment. Let me know, you know, how you feel. But not having that motivation, because it's like, okay, well, I'm doing, well, what's the point for me to, like, everything's good, everything's gravy. If everything's going good and gravy, you're going to keep going about life the way it is that you're going. But when it's not, that causes introspection. Like, okay, I've been hurt. What can I do to change, to move on, or to heal, or not repeat, or to learn in a different way, so not to go through this again. But it is hard to do that when you're already hurt, because like we start off doing it, most of us start off doing it, and then we tend to halfway through just like, you know what, no, because it is causing you more pain, more trauma, to actually truly embrace that. But that's also a part of conditioning as well, because I'm talking about, oh, well, you know, my mom was strong, or my dad was strong, and they didn't do this, and they do this. And, you know, we do have these idols that we saw. I mean, that's that subconscious programming that we saw growing up, that we looked up to, because a lot of emotions were hid. A lot of emotions were, you know, so because parents are like, oh, well, you know, I didn't want my kid to. But it's like, why? I get that, you know, you don't want to hurt your kid, but also at the same time, that gives a child a false belief, you know, in a sense. Now, if you have toxic behaviors, by all means, but it gives your child a sense of false subconscious conditioning of the fact that, okay, well, this is what I have to do. This is how I have to be. And no, you're not necessarily saying anything, but because your child sees that, I mean, let's face it, the first people who usually ends up truly breaking our hearts in some way, some shape, or form is our parents. Because we look up to them as these superheroes, as these people that, you know, is so magnificent that, you know, or somebody that's always going to be there or just always strong, we look up to them in some way because that's our first bond, our first true connection, our first experience in love. And no, I'm not talking about romance. I'm just talking about love, period. And that's why, a lot of people fall in love with people that reminds them of their mother or their father or whatever the case may be, because in a way we're trying to fix that part of us that was hurt about whatever when we were younger. Coming into your healthy self and being, then you find, somebody that matches you for who you are. And and yeah, we're gonna have ways that that's healthy that we decide to keep, from our upbringing and life experiences and things of that. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the things that I just was watching and on this pilgrimage really noticed, just watching people and just driving, just listening to music and podcasts and I maybe watched Netflix maybe a total of 30 minutes in about over 72 hours. Yeah, like I'll watch TV if a show's good and I have absolutely nothing else to do. I watch TV out of boredom and laziness. So if I'm watching TV, I'm bored and I'm being lazy. To be completely honest. Unless it's like good company, then that's completely different. But just being alone, yeah. Because I figure I could be doing something worth my time or productive. But there's a lot of things that's been conditioned in the world and in society that we truly, as a whole, should be working on and trying to fix. And the fact that the crazy thing about it, like the first thing we want to do is like, yes, I see this wrong and I see that wrong and I see this wrong and that wrong. Let me fix it. But that's part of, practicing what, we're preaching. And, the pot calling the kettle black. Like, it does start with us, with ourselves. And, I mean, I'm a lot of us, who we're becoming aware of that because after, the last read that I put out, Jennifer Lopez, Ja Rule on Real came back on again. Because every time my playlist, like, it's on random all the time. So it's funny just that the same songs keep popping up. But that song came out. But, yeah, I was grooving. And Jagged Edge remix. Aha. Aha. Yeah, that was the cut. That's the cut. First of all. Yeah. But everybody like Run DMC, and then when they teamed up with Jagged Edge, man, come on now. Everybody know Let's Get Married was the shit. The shit. The remix. I mean, the original was cool. It was nice and sweet. I love the original too. But the remix, hold on, you heard it? You was like, oh, wait a minute. Okay. So you just challenged that energy, got me a little bit geeked up right there. But that's funny though. But after the third song happened to be "Man in the Mirror," Michael Jackson. I was like, wow, and that was after it finally completely uploaded, and that's why I went through the playlist. So I actually had to talk through to get to, but the fact that Man in the Mirror came on by Michael Jackson. I was like, that ain't the most realest shit ever right now. And I mean, since the song came out, to be honest. But it starts with ourselves. It does start with ourselves. Because the more that we change and learn and become aware and experience and grow, evolve, mature, did I say mature already? Yeah. Within ourselves, it unlocks so many doors of understanding literally so many more people outside of you, which sounds crazy, but it is so true. The more you understand about yourself, the more you understand other people in a way that you've never been able to understand people before. Never, in any type of way, shape, or form. Being able to connect with people on a completely different level. I mean, yeah, everybody's been able to connect with people in the ways that we're accustomed to or we're used to, but seeing it in a whole nother light, in a completely different spectrum, and sincerely having a sense of love for everybody that you come in contact with. And I mean, yeah, you're going to have bad days. You can be like, you know what? I really don't feel like dealing with people right now. I was that person, like, I don't like people. And I'm still kind of like that person, like, and it's not that I don't like people. It's the energy that some people carry. It's just be like, no, thank you. Just that's what I would start saying. Like, not that I love people. I just don't like some energy that people carry. I dig that. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. It's like you have to work on saying that, because that it does like have like a bad taste. Wait, the King of Cups right there, for real. That's they funny right now, but you truly do, and having a sense of love, and a sense of you're a human being like me, a sense of mutual respect of you're a human being like me. But, oh, well, my respect is earned. But you want everybody to just initially respect you. Yeah, because I put off okay, but still, it's the same thing. So because somebody's now doesn't have that, level of confidence, you're not going to respect them. Or because they don't show it, you're not going to respect. Like, that's. But going on this little pilgrimage really gave me a blessing in so many ways. Like, I was headed for one opportunity that blossomed into another opportunity, into another opportunity, into another opportunity, and then, being here and realizing, like, oh, that was a whole opportunity all in itself. And yeah, I took those moments to appreciate it, but seeing the wholeness of what it gave, it's truly priceless. Like, looking at the scenic views and just places I've never seen, never been, or seen in like movies and TV shows, and just like, oh shit, like, that's just real. Like, it's not like in Hollywood on a set or nothing. Like, no, it's like right there. Like, best feeling ever. Best feeling ever, y'all. Best feeling ever. Best feeling ever. Queen of Hearts, for real. Best feeling ever. And I wouldn't trade. Yeah. Wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. Wouldn't trade the journey. I know, and I know, far from done. But being in the place we're in, and a lot of us is coming into, and then a lot of us is in, and those who are past it and going into another phase and still being able to reflect back on where you came from. It's just like, wow. You feel proud of yourself. You appreciate yourself. You appreciate everything, life, everything. Just that much more. Just that much more. And it also shows that, wow, yeah, you prove yourself to you. You show yourself to you and to God. And you build a stronger bond and relationship to God, source, spirit, y'all know the whole works. And it's truly, so now I truly understand why, like, so many cultures all throughout the world had, as a transition into adulthood, a lot of people had to, like, pass these certain tests or go on pilgrimages. A lot of them were, like, individual pilgrimages or, a form of that to prepare you for, life as an adult, responsibilities, the outlook that you have to have, the understanding, the self-awareness. And, I mean, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Because to do this at like 18 and everybody had to, like, it's like 6th grade camp, but to the fullest, to the ultimate fullest. Best thing ever. Okay, I gotta move down one because, man, this cigarette smoke is killing me right now. Alright, y'all, but that's all I wanted to share with y'all. The Spirit led me to share. So I'm gonna go ahead, eat these French fries. That's my treat to myself. Some fries from a well-known restaurant. Been seen on TV. See? That I've been wanting to, try. So when I seen it, the line was hella long. So for the name of it to be quick in and out, it took a while, but I was able to sit and just enjoy the scenery. Like, I'm just chilling, just having fun, just looking at these trees. But all right, y'all. Your boy X, kind of forever. I'm tuning out. I'm taking my ass to bed. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I am so tired. All right, y'all. I even worked after when I got here. Didn't do any business, but might drive to nearby airport. That people usually need a ride around there. All right, y'all. Man, there's so many of them. It's like a bajillion of them here. But anywho, all right, y'all. I'm out. Peace out. Oh, yeah, like, share, subscribe. Everything's down below. I didn't say that before. Look, y'all know I'm tired. All right, bye.